Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with layout 2 for How to Kill a Kit with Style, February 2019. This one I am still pulling in from Sara Scraps Simple Elegance class, so I linked her stuff again below. I'm pulling a lot from lesson 5, which is to make elegant type layouts without having to use hearts and flowers and that kind of stuff, which you see on a lot of elegant layouts. She has a lot of good tips on how to make elegant layouts without having to rely on that type of thing, especially masculine layouts, which is why I'm pulling so much for it in this layout as well as the previous one. I'm starting off with this triangular page that has this big copper hay in it. I did not want to have to cut out the hay, but I kept finding as I was trying to figure out where my photo was going to go that I just was not going to be able to keep that hay uncovered. So I'm going to fussy cut the hay out, and I'm still going to use it on the page. I'm just going to move it so that it's not covered up by the photo. That photo is just a little bit too large to have next to the words without it getting covered in some way. So that's where I'm starting. I'm going to just keep the hay up there so I remember to use it. And again, I'm pulling a lot from the 6x6 paper pad. I can already tell that by having a coordinating 6x6 paper pad, it's really going to help me stretch the 12x12 papers. I thought there were 12 in this kit. There's actually only 8. So I'm really trying to pull a lot from the 6x6 pads for my layering so I don't have to cut into very many of those 12x12s. So I'm just getting a bunch of layers together here right now with those. I really love this triangular paper that's in the 6x6 pad. It's not in the 12x12s, which I'm really sad because I think that's like my favorite paper in this whole kit. Just has a lots of little triangles making a pattern, and there's a copper foiling on them as well. So I'm going to get that one used up on this one. I just thought I needed something. I'm trying to figure out what layer to do the layering in to where the papers don't mesh together. So I'm pulling in this white airplane one just for a thin, creamy white mat behind the photos to go on top of that black and copper stripe. And you'll notice again, same as in the first layout, I'm not gutting most of these layers. The ones with the copper foil, I'm going to I don't want to run out of that copper foiling at the end. So you'll see like this one and that triangular piece I do gut, but for the most part I'm not gutting the 6x6 paper pads because there are 24, I think. Yes, 24 sheets in the 6x6 paper pad, and with only 8 12x12s, like I said in the first one, I just don't want a whole lot of the small pad left over by the end of the 12x12s. So there we go. I don't know why I gutted the maroon one after I just said I was only gutting the copper foiled ones, but I did. Habits, I guess. And I like that positioning. I think I'm gonna have the title above there. Just trying to fill in some more. I'm thinking I really want to stretch that triangular pattern paper longer than 6 inches, so I need to find a way to hide the gap that's going to be there if I do cut that paper in order to stretch it. So I just took a scrap of that white and black polka dot to make a banner, and that way I can stretch that triangular print a few more inches. So you'll see what I mean. I'm not going to cut it, and then I'm just going to have a gap that you won't see because it'll be covered by that banner. There we go. I always have to cheat a lot when I use 6x6 paper pads to make it look like they're larger pieces than there are. And then I did want to try and bring in some of that Chamel copper polka dot foiled vellum, just because I didn't get to bring it in on the first layout and I want to make sure I get some of it used up. So I'm just going to pull in those 2 little scraps on either side so it looks like it's one big square behind all of those layers. There we go. I'm going through the die cuts to make sure if there's anything I do want to use that I think about it now instead of at the end. Thinking about a few of the craft chipboard just because this is one of the 12x12s that does have craft on them. But I'm also looking at that tag. I'm thinking I might use that as my journaling. So I pulled that out as well. I'm also keeping my eye on that sticker sheet as well. I want to make sure I use some of that up as well this time. And that thumbs up I was really trying to use. That one doesn't make it on there. I keep trying to tuck it in, but it looks too clunky for it. Since I am using these 12x12s that are all kind of smaller scale, that big thumbs up was really covering up a large portion of my layers. So I try and get it on a few times, but it doesn't make it. And I am going to use this branding strip though. I'm just going to tuck it underneath that banner on either side. I'm going to commit to that tag going right there. And again, I'm trying to use another one of those craft pockets. I have those craft pockets as well as some craft labels that you see there that I'm trying to keep in mind as I'm doing these pages. I don't use a lot of craft, so now that I am using a craft collection this month, I am trying to make sure I pull in as much as I can from my other craft embellishments, since I actually for once have something that coordinates with them. And again, I'm pulling in those craft stickers. I'm going to call this Hey Barker Boys. So this is when Bennett's uncle, which was his daddy's brother, was in town and met Bennett for the first time. There's a picture of his uncle holding him with his dad to the left there and his grandpa to the right. So I definitely wanted to scrapbook that. One, because it's a picture of him and his uncle. It's the only one I have so far. As well as this is the first picture I have of 3 generations of the Barkers. So since it's Bennett, his dad, and grandpa. And I already know I did scrapbook one of Bennett, my sister, and grandma. So I'm going to put the title there. I like how that looks. And then I'm just going to tuck some twine into that tag. That colored twine really went well with the craft color. I'm looking at those puppy stickers. Those don't make it on again. I'm gonna have to do something with those puppy stickers soon. But I do have this scrap of a craft label, so I'm gonna stick that up there and do just a small little embellishment cluster. And I'm just going to use that one sticker here with that branding strip. I don't want a whole lot up there, but I did just want to pull in a few of the other colors just so there was something interesting in that little corner up there. And again, I'm using those stickers for the date. I did this with the last collection. I'm horrible at using numbers, and the only way I seem to be able to get them on pages is to use them for the date. So I figured that was nice. It brought the sticker into another area, filled in that gap, and it got some numbers. Sorry, I got cut off. I got a phone call. Okay, continuing. So I'm getting this corner up here put down. I'm doing another tag. I'm using one of the word stickers from that sticker sheet. It just says, oh boy, in gray. And then I'm going to use up all of those glittery copper enamel dots on this one. So I'm just doing 3 little clusters of 3. And then I'm just going to do my journaling, which is just talking about how his uncle came to visit and how there's 3 generations there of the boys. And then I thought I needed a little something on the bottom underneath that triangular paper. So I did just steal a scrap of some of the navy, and I'm using my diamond border punch to just punch a little interesting border to go down there just so it wasn't nothing. This is my Fisker's diamond border punch, which I love, but it's super old. It was a hand-me-down, and it does get stuck, and I just still haven't done my maintenance on it yet, so it takes me a minute to get that punched out. But I like that little detail down there. I didn't want a whole lot, I just wanted something. But that finished off the page, so this is it. Another boy layout. Turned out a little bit more elegant than my first layout, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, so here's layout number 2. Layout number 3 will be on its way soon. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.